We like.
And welcome to the TrainAnything Show. This is John,
And I'm Dylan.
and we are here because we are passionate about all things endurance, and we want to inspire belief and action, don't we?
Belief in action.
Belief in
That's
action.
what we're all about here.
That's what we're all about here at Train Anything. Today, if you're listening, it might be a Tuesday because we drop on Tuesdays everywhere podcasts can be found, be it YouTube, Spotify, Apple, Amazon. Who am I forgetting? No, I think those are all of them. Yep, we're there. We're out on Tuesdays. Never know what you're going to get, especially today. Today, we've got a special potluck for you. Potluck being, I don't know if you're going to get lucky. We're going to find out as we get into it. But hopefully, an opportunity to get to know us a little bit better as you're tuning in over the years, dare I say.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's a scary thing.
I know. Who are these guys?
Who are
Well,
these
man,
yahoos?
you listen to this potluck, you might podluck? Is that a thing? Maybe we can. Ooh,
Podluck.
podluck.
There you go. We're on to something
I
now.
like it. I like it. I like it. Okay. Enough
This
of that.
week's sponsor.
Who's our sponsor, Dylan?
This week's sponsor is Moldy Water Bottles.
Oh, yes.
Anyone out there?
When
Experiences?
was the last time you checked the bottom of your water bottles, Dylan?
Oh, I probably have like 10 dirty water bottles.
At
that
one-
scratch
at
just
any
sits
given
in.
time?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's embarrassing.
Yeah.
Moldy water bottles.
Uh-huh.
I clean them every once in a while. Sometimes there's some black chunks in there.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
I-
dang. Well, that's
it's it really is funny that this week's sponsor. Oh, right, zip right in here. Wow.
wow, I can see.
Hey,
We just took off our shades, if you're wondering.
Yeah.
All
All right, lights are still on. So I was excited to hear about this week's sponsor because, well, it was just yesterday. I think it was yesterday, 2 days ago. Popped open the water bottles, gave it a gander.
Black mold
Little
in there.
bit of black going on.
Yeah.
But
That's just gut training,
I was
right?
glad I checked. I think so. Yeah, there's probably studies out there on how you can improve your immune system and gut by drinking out of moldy water bottles. Don't do it. It's
Just
not
wash 'em.
an endorsement. Maybe
Yeah.
wash them or get more water bottles. Do you ever have some where you're like, they've just been sitting and you find them like they've been in your car full of stuff and you just
Oh,
say,
yeah.
it's not worth it. I'm just gonna send this one to the trash.
Ooh,
Like,
I've
don't even
never-
open?
No?
Is that just me?
I've done that in the past, yeah.
I've definitely done that. I'm like, oh,
You know what's
I'm
really
not
bad is if you
saving
leave
this.
a protein shaker
Oh,
closed.
oh,
I've done that in a car. You
Oh.
open that, it'll knock you
it's
over.
a bomb.
Yeah, it's like-
not good.
Yeah, it's
You know that smell. Everybody knows that smell.
lay you
Oh,
out.
well, hey, moldy water bottles. If you're doing endurance sport, you know what we're talking about, and
Yeah.
you might have one of them handy bottle scrubber things.
Oh yeah,
they're
forgot the
lifesavers.
prop.
Yeah, lifesavers.
Scrub them
so
out.
if you don't have a bottle scrubber, get one, or you're drinking mold. Probably.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know. Train anything.
It's good for you. Heard it here first.
Speaking of train anything,
Yeah.
we were training our guts with moldy water bottles.
Yeah.
But what are you training
top
this
of
week,
that,
there, Johnny boy?
Well, little story. This week, I was training how to solder electronics. Yep.
With me in this very garage.
Oh wait, that's right. You were there too. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
That was training.
That was.
I consider that an anything for sure.
That's a good skill to have.
It is a good skill.
You bought all
Yes.
that material probably just for one time solder.
It was.
But
No,
hey,
it's
if
not too
anyone's
bad.
out there in Bozeman and you need something soldered,
Yeah. I do plumbing and electrical. I used to just do plumbing, but now I can do electrical.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty stoked on it.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, backstory to that, I guess, real quick. It's like I got some new handlebars. Fast TT, shout out. Thank you for sending those. They're just a little bit longer than my old bars, and my wires were too short. SRAM ETAP wires. A lot of too short.
Yeah.
So
as hard as you tried.
Yeah.
You can't stretch wires, you know? They really don't stretch.
Yeah. And like, you know, I had a race coming up, and you know, I was going to order the wireless leaps from SRAM, but they weren't going to be there in time. So what do we do? We soldered some wire together.
We learned a new skill. Thank you, YouTube. Thank you, Home Depot.
Yeah.
Thank you, Patience.
Yeah. Speaking of
and
patience.
it works. Yeah, so that was mine. Speaking of patience.
It does work. I've been training patience.
Oh, yeah. Excellent.
Yeah, gosh. I'm sure, you know, listeners out there, you know, TT bikes are just can be the most frustrating thing in the world. And especially when you're building them up and dealing with new aero bars and all that. So, you know, just taking a deep breath and smelling the roses.
Or the grease. Or the
Smell
water
the
bottle.
roses, blow out the
Don't
candles.
Smell the water bottle. Oh.
Smell the roses, blow out the candles. So patience.
I like that one. You can do that one at home. I hope
Yeah.
everyone did that with us. Smell some roses, blow out some candles.
Smell the roses, blow out the candles.
Yeah.
Well,
I
having
think-
a panic attack?
I mean,
Smell
that
the
is,
roses, blow out
you
the
know,
candles.
I feel like we talked about this. When I get frustrated with things like that, if I get there, I would just want to throw something, you know, but you can't hurt the bike. You don't want to throw something around that. So it's like you want, I don't know, I want to either put a hammer through something, or if I have an extra, I once, like I had an extra tile, you know, I was doing like rental work, and I just took it and just went outside and just smashed it because I was so frustrated and not patient though. But that's like, why? It's kind of childish. I don't know. Like,
right, yeah.
It's like,
That's
did
what I
I
was thinking.
need to do? That's what you're thinking.
You're
Just
a child,
big,
and you need
big
anger management.
child.
Yes. No.
Need some professional help.
Nah, dude, we've all been there. I have a boxing bag out here, so
Oh,
you know,
right.
I just come out here, rip some punches.
Just hit it.
Yeah.
Hard.
I'm good to go.
That's productive, you know? When
Yeah.
the stress ball's not doing it. Because does the stress ball... I've never really found those to be
That's
effective.
too boring.
Like, really?
I gotta hit something.
This is just not it.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
Be patient.
Or right.
Zen.
Smell the roses, blow out the candles.
right, thanks.
That's probably the better way.
Now
That
that
doesn't
I know,
help sometimes.
roses
Sometimes you
and
gotta
candles.
rage.
Right.
She's like,
Yeah, like I'll smell roses later after I light this crap on fire. Yeah, I'm going to take those candles and burn something.
that's right.
Sorry.
Wow. Feeling aggressive.
Maybe not. Apparently.
It's snowing out right now.
I don't
It's
want to
May.
look. I can't see out the window.
May.
so
Why is it snowing?
I'm not looking. He just checks his watch to make sure it was still May.
Yeah, just making sure. Jeez.
Still May. All right. Well, hey, you know, another good couple anythings. New skills.
Yep.
And, I mean, patience is it's a virtue,
Patience
whatever that means.
is a virtue. Moving on to the pod meet.
Already. Pod meet.
What are we doing today? So, what did you call this podcast series?
Well, now we're going to call them podlucks.
Podlucks. In today's podluck, we're, I don't know. Yeah, we're just coming to you with some stories.
Yeah, getting to know us. I think, you know, our goal with this podcast and Train Anything in general is to inspire belief and action. It's a mission. So we want to do that through sharing information, sharing inspiring stories about other people, but then also give you an opportunity to get to know us, not just through some of the technical stuff we talk about, but through some of the stories and things that we've been through. Just, yeah, I mean, just so you can get to know us. I have no other objective.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe you learn something. Maybe
Yeah.
something will hit.
Yeah,
Click.
something you might be able to relate or spring off of something or be encouraged or be bored. I don't know. We're going to find out today. So,
That's right.
yeah,
Okay.
first podluck. What do we got?
Here
Hope
we
it's
go.
not like the green bean casserole.
Well, we were
Do you have a favorite potluck dish?
potluck.
Like you're like going to
you're taking me to Thanksgiving.
You're going to a potluck. That is not a potluck.
I mean, big family get together.
What?
Everyone's bringing something.
At Thanksgiving?
Everyone's bringing a dish. That's a potluck.
But it's Thanksgiving. Isn't there a theme?
Well, you got Thanksgiving, the standards. Well, there's lots of standards.
There are lots of standards.
I guess everything on the table is a standard.
If it makes it to the Thanksgiving table,
Okay.
I wouldn't. I feel like potluck. Do you ever go to a potluck that's not Thanksgiving and be like, oh, I really hope somebody brings this?
I don't know. When I think of potlucks outside of Thanksgiving or any family get together, it's like, it'd be like, it'd be like chili or soup.
Chili. Okay.
Which I'm not like. Chili's good. Chili's good.
Yeah, today's a good chili day.
Yeah.
Some chili.
But I'm not like much of a soup guy because it's not filling.
Yeah, and then you just
Like,
got
what am I trying to
a loaf
lose
of
weight?
bread and some water, right?
Loaf of bread? Yeah. Eat a loaf of bread, and then I'm filled. Yeah.
With your soup.
But I don't know. What's your favorite potluck?
Probably some kind of cheese, carbs, and
Queso dip?
yeah,
Queso and
bring
chips?
on the dip. Actually, like a taco dip, like a 7-layer taco dip. I do a good dip. I go for a good dip at a potluck
right now.
Ooh,
That sounds
nachos.
really good.
Yeah, potluck nachos.
I don't know. Okay.
All right.
Podluck. Let's get back on track.
Get this thing. I'm surprised you didn't say hot dish. Like that was your opportunity to talk about hot dishes. I don't even know what that's like. That's what you bring to a potluck. I'm not even saying it right.
Yeah, tater tot hot dish.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I haven't been to enough potlucks, I guess.
Bummer. All right, we can. That's goals. We can fix that.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
But here we go. Like, so we were thinking about just talking about a meaningful race in our life.
Yeah.
Kind of thing, right?
Yeah. Endurance
So,
endeavor.
What's yours, John?
Something. Well, I was gonna talk about my first 70.3. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the lead into it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Where were you at in life?
Young.
How old?
Younger. Well, younger than I am now.
Were you in college?
Whippersnapper. No, after college.
Oh, this
Yeah.
is life after college. So
This
you
is-
were what?
Yeah,
20?
life after college. Was I 21 or 22? Something like that. 2011, I think. Yep. So take us back. 2011. I had just gotten out of school, so did like undergrad and then a 1-year master's. Got out of school and picked up triathlon, like kind of right in that time frame as I was wrapping up school and heading out into the working world. And I hadn't, well, it was my first time doing a sport not in school, like unorganized, right? Because I grew up swimming for the most part and doing various other sports, but now it's like, oh, you're out of school and that environment where there's the structure for all that activity, and I wanted to do something to keep me from really being 300 pounds. How do I stay fit and active? Because I wasn't when I started. So that summer, I got into training and had an A race of the Chicago Olympic, like the Chicago Tri, which happens in, I don't know when it happens, August maybe. But that was like my A race that I was training for. And I did one other triathlon that summer, like a local tri. And then I started work. Dun, dun, dun. And then I did the Chicago Tri. Work for me at that time was consulting, and it involved travel. So I was working with universities, trying to help them save money. And it was my first project, first job, right? Like all these first things. And at the same time, I'm trying to train for triathlon, which I was new to. Like I knew how to swim. I was in decent swim shape just because I had done that my whole life. And then got into biking. Like, I didn't know what I was doing. And then running, same thing. But try doing, like, learning that and how to train while you're also learning how to travel for work on a plane Monday, returning Thursday, eating out the whole week. So, like, not making your own food, not having good control over what you're putting in your body, at least as a 21, 22-year-old. And then trying to be fit and active. Like, it didn't work. Did not work. Yeah, I was so, like, it hit me hard, the whole work thing. So, but what do? You keep showing up. So I did that, like, A race, Chicago Tri, and I felt terrible. Like, it was awful. I was not in shape. Like, it was my A race. I had a coach at the time, and it, like, did not feel like an A race just because I was not consistently training, and I felt like I was just eating. Like, but okay, have you ever had a per diem?
No.
Yeah. Well, it's like free money, kinda, where you have a daily allotment of dollars that you could spend, or that they give it to you anyway, whether you spend it or not. And San Francisco had a really high per diem, so I don't know, like $75 a day or something that we could use to eat. And you're just like,
I spend all of it.
I mean, how many hamburgers is that? Like, give me extra fries. And no, but
35.
I mean, that's part of the problem. Yeah, you're like, oh, like, I can go eat at this nice place where I'm sure everything is covered in butter and just not good for you, really.
Butter's good for you.
Okay, right, sorry. I'm actually a big butter fan.
Yeah,
but
butter on everything.
I do too.
There's such a misconception out there.
There are butter haters out there.
Well, I mean,
yeah,
I don't know.
Butter haters. Don't
butter
be butter
haters. Steak's good for you.
Yeah, red meat.
I know people are like, oh, I can't eat that steak. It's like, what are you talking?
No,
Just
no.
maybe change something else. Don't drink the pop or the Coke.
Yeah, skip the Diet Coke. Eat the steak.
Skip the sugar.
Yes.
Skip the donuts.
Yes.
Eat the steak.
Eat
the butter.
steak.
Anyway.
Eat the steak. Yes. Well, all things in moderation also. So
Right.
I was not
Don't eat
moderating. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not
18 ounce
moderating.
steak every day.
Yep. So it was just, not good. But after that race, I was like, okay, well, I want to keep doing this, right? When I commit to something, usually I'm pretty, I get into it. And I wasn't ready to end my season on that. I didn't want to. And the team that I was training with, they were going to go race at, it was Austin 70.3. They don't do Austin 70.3 anymore, but that's where they were going to go. And they were like, oh, you should come, you should race. I'm like, I can't do a half Ironman. What are you talking about? Like, I just barely got through an Olympic, and I'm clearly not training. Like, I'm not fit. But, oh, no, you should sign up. I'm like, okay, well, like, it's so expensive. You have to fly somewhere. I'd never traveled with the bike, like, all this thing. I was in Chicago, right? So thinking about getting my bike somewhere and going to race was a lot to think about. And then one day, I got delayed on a flight, or it was oversold. So I was flying it back from San Francisco and maybe Kansas. I don't remember. But somewhere I got delayed, or they said, if somebody wants to get bumped to another flight, we'll give you a voucher. And I was like, well, I got nowhere to be. So that's just work travel. I'll take the voucher. So I got a $450 travel voucher. And my immediate thought was, I'll go to Texas. Like, now I wanted to pay for a flight. Like, my flight is paid for. The friend and coach that I had at the time was driving down with, I think at that time, her boyfriend's family or something. So they were going to take my bike. I didn't have to think about a bike back, because if I had to box a bike back then, it would not have happened.
Yeah.
Like, it would not have happened. So I was like, okay, this feels like I should go. Like, I got this free ticket and housing. I don't know if I had points. I might have had to pay for a hotel. I don't even remember where I stayed. But I was doing it, and that was 6 weeks before it. Yeah, 6 weeks is not enough time to not to gimp along training as I was and like be ready for that. But I didn't care. I mean, I was 22, whatever, 21, whatever. What does it matter? Yeah. Just show up to the thing. Right. And it was all new, right? The Ironman setup, Austin, travel, all new, very exciting. But I remember it's kind of out of body because you're in a whole new environment and you don't, like now I show up to like an Ironman event and I know the program, right? But then you're like, okay, I need to check in here. I need to get this gear ready and like nervous. Like this is a long way. I honestly don't even know how long of a bike I did before that race. Probably not very long. Underprepared, but
at Olympic triathlon distance,
it was
25 miles.
It was the team race. I was going to it. So we get into the race, right? Get there, whatever. Do all the things. Swim, fine. I'm good with the swim. Totally fine. The bike, oh my gosh. So Austin is, I don't know if you know, but, flat. Like apparently outside of, I actually haven't been there since the race, I don't think. But there is some terrain, maybe hillier towards town, but then once you're out of town, it's like pancake flat. And when things are pancake flat, I think it's actually harder to ride, like harder to hold that power or hold any power because you don't have hills like to coast down, which is all I wanted. Yeah. All I wanted was a hill to coast down. And I didn't have one. And it was hot. And I just remember just like miserable on this bike. Just everything I could do to get the pedals over. And it's flat. Like I'm not even working up a hill. I'm just like, oh, like, is this ever going to be over? And people are going by because I was still an okay swimmer, even out of shape. But you just get past and miserable. And I'm sure nutrition-wise, I'm probably taking in nothing. Like, I probably just have water, you know. Like, I don't have anything going on there. Yeah. And you're just like, get this thing over with. Get me off of this bike. Awful. Like, I had miserable time. Absolutely miserable. And then, like, things were going to get better on the run.
Right.
No. So that year it happened. It was previously a 2-loop course. And
what year was this?
2012.
Ironman Houston?
2011. Ironman Austin. 70.3 Austin. 2011. They don't run the race anymore. I forget what year they discontinued it. But.
Okay. Anyway, just keep going.
So
tell us about that run.
It was usually a 2-loop course, and there was like one gnarly-ish hill in the run. And now, this year, that year I did it, there was some crazy drought in Texas, and part of the run that was off course, the clay in the ground was cracking, and it was going to swallow us up or something. So they decided to make it a 2-loop course. Or I'm sorry, 3. They went from 3 to 2. So they like basically made the course harder because now we have to do this stupid big hill 3 times instead of 2. Just what I needed. Just what I needed. So I just remember just being absolutely miserable. Like shuffling, walking, again, probably just trying to drink water, and just get to the finish line. Like all I could do. And I remember seeing the finish tent or finished in like a arena, I think where maybe they did rodeo or something like State Fair, like a big permanent tent. And you just run past it, you know, one of those where you're like, all I want to do is be done. Yeah. It's awful. Like basically the whole experience sucked. And you're out there also kind of by yourself. It was a team race, but I didn't know, like there were probably 4 or 5 of us there. So it wasn't like we were all out there.
I was trying to find your results, but I can't find them.
No.
That's all right. Do you remember them? Do you remember how long your bike took?
So I don't remember the individual splits, but I believe the day took like 6 hours and 37 minutes or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Long day.
It's a long day.
Long day. But here's my but. I remember finishing, and I just had this feeling of like, this isn't you. Like, you can do this so much better. Like, this is not, you just did that. You know, that happened. That was real. But you can do this so much better.
Right.
You know, and I think some of that came from being an athlete growing up. Like, as a swimmer, I was a decent swimmer. You know, I swam D3 in college, but I did the thing, and you know, I was decent. So I just had different expectation, and I just knew, like,
yeah, once a competitor, always a competitor.
Yeah. And like, this person who just did this is like not me. Not me. So I was pretty fired up from the finish. Like, just,
you were stoked on it.
like, I was
to be there.
No.
Or no, what do you mean?
No. I was stoked to do better next time.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I could have
I want to do this again.
I could have very easily been like,
that's enough.
that's it.
Yeah.
Like, this isn't for me, I guess. You know, I'll go do Olympics, or I'll go find another hobby, or I'll just, you know, not. But for whatever reason, it was the opposite. It was like, no, I'm going to do this again, and I'm going to do it better.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and at this point in your life, you're working, traveling, unhealthy, probably the most unfit John you've ever been.
That's a whole other podcast.
Yeah.
In one of the times. So I am somebody, and we'll probably talk about this more on other pods, but I'm in and out of fitness. Like, as I look back at my life, I could draw a line of like, John's fit, John's out of shape, John's fit, John's out of shape. So this was definitely one of the out of shape points.
Yeah,
at least points. But at least I was young. But
that's fun. Yeah, your out of shape self did a 70.3, which is amazing, actually, if you think about it. Right? Because that's a lot of people's goals.
Right.
Is to finish a 70.3.
Get through it. Yeah.
What's the cutoff for those? 8 hours?
I think it's 8. Yeah.
Yeah.
You have 8 hours to do it. So I had some buffer time.
Yeah, you had an hour and 20 minutes of walking left. If
Not
you
a lot.
needed it.
Not a lot.
Yeah.
But it was a huge motivator.
Seriously.
Yeah. I mean, just, I don't know. I can't explain why. Right. Again, so many people would either.
And this was your third triathlon.
Yeah, I think I did a couple sprints in high school before, like our local something or other, but just like, you know, the one and done in the neighborhood kind of thing.
Right.
But this is my first, like, after deciding to do triathlon, which happened, 6 months before that. I'm like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to be a triathlete. Gotcha.
So you felt like Ironman was, like, more legit. The Ironman branded races, so half Ironman versus sprint. Like, you felt more.
Yeah, like just. I don't know. Well, they invited me to go. It's like, I'll go do a half. I didn't know anything about anything, you know.
But you had some reps doing the transitions and.
Yeah. Yes, I get through that.
So it wasn't completely foreign.
No.
But the distance was completely foreign.
Yes. Yeah.
Had you run a half marathon before that?
That's a good question. I don't think so.
So
that might have been my first half marathon.
Longest run.
Yeah.
Probably off 20 grams of carbs an hour.
Yep.
All day.
I think that was my first half.
Yeah.
It would have been. Just throw me into it.
Yeah. That's fun. So what's the next year?
So then I jumped into.
Did you go insane and train the house down?
Did. Well, so I remember back then, like, race photos took a while to come out. So it was a couple weeks later, they're like, oh, here are your race photos. And I'm like, oh, cool. Let me go look at those. And I opened it up and I was like, dang. Like, I knew I had a rough day, like, mentally, like, feeling, you know, I felt awful the whole day, but man, did they capture it in the photos. Like, you could, you didn't have,
you're a bag of bones.
You didn't have to, like, guess, that guy's having, like, that guy should not be here, or he's having a bad day. So, but there was one particular photo of me hoofing. I don't know if I was walking or trotting. I don't know. But on that hill, that miserable hill that we had to do 3 times. And I looked just like awful. And I was like, I want that photo.
Yeah. Huh.
I want it. So I ordered it. I probably paid $45 for one stupid photo, because they charge you so much for those dang things.
Yeah.
And this was, I don't know, now I think it's better. I think it's more economical now, but back, see, I remember it being like.
Nah, they're still expensive.
All right. Yeah. So what the heck, what's that about? But then $45 on a photo. And I ordered a print. I didn't just get a digital. Like I had them print it and send it to my house.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And
that was your motivator.
Yeah. I put it on a bulletin board in my apartment. Like, so I could look at it and be like, you want to feel like that?
Yeah.
Do you want to feel like that again?
Yeah.
What are you going to change? What are you going to do different? What are you going to, both, like, those questions. What are you going to believe? And then what are you going to go do?
Yeah.
Belief in action.
Nice.
Look at that. And it was, I believe I'm fitter than this, and I'm going to take the steps. I'm going to train more.
Yeah.
I'm going to be more consistent. I'm going to eat better. I'm going to. And that spurred it. Yeah. I mean, the following year I did another half. I think I went did I go under 5? Or not under 5, under 6? I think I shaped. Yeah. I think I did like a 5:45 maybe. Yeah. I think I cropped it under 6. And then I did full Ironman that fall. Nice. In a 12, Ironman Wisconsin in like 12:37, I think.
Wow. So you went twice the distance.
Twice the distance faster. Yeah.
That's cool.
It was cool. Yeah. So it was, I think
it's a testament to like sticking with anything, right?
Yeah. And you like feel that
better.
Like whatever that motivation is. Some people it's a podium. Some people it's a whatever. Like I don't know. For me, it was just like feeling that, like just whatever that was. Like I am better than this, and like seeing the result, feeling that, seeing it. And it said, nope.
Yep.
We can do this different. We can do this better.
That's awesome.
So I went. Yeah.
So 2011.
Yeah, 2011.
Nice.
It was
first half.
Yeah. It really started me on all this stuff. Yeah, all the try stuff and all the fitness and just wanting that to be part of my life in varying degrees. It started then.
And how much longer were you a consultant? Did you start
Long
consulting
time.
that year?
Yeah, 8 more years.
8 more years.
Yeah, of being on the road and training and traveling.
So you did end up figuring out a way to be, at least try to
I was pretty fit, yeah.
Eat healthier and be training more consistently.
Oh, yeah.
And what helped you break that barrier?
Salad.
Oh, my gosh. Don't listen to that. Everyone's going to underfuel now.
I just starved myself.
Yeah. But was there like a person or a group of people that helped you kind of launch into that consistent lifestyle, right? That you're living.
Yeah, no,
now?
I just found that rhythm.
Yeah.
I think for me, some of the routine and, having certain days for bikes or swims or what have you, but committing to it, and I just stuck to it. It was more of a commitment thing for me. Like I made the jump to race Ironman, and like you can't just show up to one of those.
No.
If you want to get through it.
So it's more internal, not like, okay, I have these people to help me.
Yeah, no, I was solo.
Like
I was on I was a road warrior. I traveled with my traveling bike. If I was going to be at a client for long enough, it would live at the hotel on the weekends, and I was just very solo.
Yep. Traveling man by trade, sir.
Wanted to do it.
It's a good song.
Oh.
I'm a traveling man by trade.
Save it for an intro.
Okay. Next time. Save it for an intro. Yeah. We're going to run out of ideas. 10 years in, we'll be like, what do we do? No.
No, that ain't going to happen. Yeah.
Well, cool, man. There you go. John's for 70.3.
That was it.
Misery.
Just sucked.
Sucked.
I was so out of shape.
Love those moments.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, I can tell you about my first experience.
Yeah.
Flip the script.
Yes.
You got anything else in your cranium
No.
floating around there?
Your first experience doing what?
Triathlon.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So let's see. So I grew up in a small town, Scandia, little farm town. Where
everybody knows your name.
Yep.
Oh, that's the
exactly.
Bar. Is that the bar? Cheers.
I mean, seriously.
Okay.
Everyone knows everyone. And I grew up playing football, baseball, basketball. Those are just the standards.
Ball sports.
Yeah.
What you do.
Yep. And I lost my thought, but
you're playing ball sports, and then you
just so playing ball sports. I got into after that, kind of during that, had a lot of energy. I don't know, ball sports are kind of boring. I don't know. It was fun. It kept me like engaged and out of trouble, I think, for parts of the year.
And in season.
Yeah, but I grew up with a lot of energy and wanting to play around and have a lot of fun. I was always getting people together for football games up in our town, Scandia. So getting football games together, and I'd always bike up to town, which is like 5 miles, but I'd bike everywhere. So I grew up biking.
Yeah. Was that like a single speed, like BMX bike? You were cruising around town on.
Yeah.
Do you have pegs?
Yeah. It was a BMX bike, and then.
Did you have pegs? That was
No.
a serious question.
Yeah, of course.
Absolutely.
Who didn't have pegs?
All right. I'd have room for a friend.
Yeah. But, no, and then I ended up asking my mom for one of her old mountain bikes. It was pretty sweet. It was like a hybrid bike. Where it was like, had 700C tires and shifters, but like a flat bar. It was pretty sick. But yeah, and anyway, just I biked around everywhere. So that was like my intro to biking. That's why I'm a good cyclist, I think. Seriously,
started early,
biked
everywhere,
and you had to because our town, everything was far away, and you biked to your friend's house, and it was like 5 miles every direction. But yeah, anyway, my friend Tyler Sample, him and I would hang out a lot, and his mom was doing triathlon at the time, and we both just were nuts together. And she was like, "That's it. I'm signing you guys up for a triathlon just to like do something this summer."
Get you.
And she signed us up for the Chisago Lakes Sprint Triathlon.
How do you spell that?
I don't know. I don't know.
Me
Chisago Lakes. And I think this was 2009. I was in 9th grade. And at this time, I was kind of like getting pretty burnt out of like football.
Usual.
I stopped growing, and everyone kept growing, and I was a fullback throughout my whole like elementary through junior high. And I was just starting to get creamed, and I didn't really want to put on weight. That was not my like style, because everyone was big into the gym and lifting, and I just didn't really care about that too much. And kind of before that, I got really into boxing with my friend Isaac Harris. Shout out Isaac. You're probably not listening to this. But Isaac is like, he was a very important person in my life who I think kept me out of staying in trouble for so long. Because I'd go over to his house, and we would just
beat the crap out of each other.
Yeah, we'd watch videos together. He was my sister's age, 2 years older than me, but he like took me under his wing. And yeah, dude, we would just do mitts for hours, hit the heavy bag. We'd have like just the worst rap music playing super loud. And his mom was so sweet. She'd like come out in the garage. You guys need anything? It's like the heaviest rap. Just, I ain't going back to jail. It's like and,
in Scandia.
Yeah, dude.
Minnesota.
Yeah. And it was awesome.
Yeah. It's like
so like boxing was actually a very important part kind of through that season. I don't know. I just think I'd throw that in there because
It's all during that time and in that transition, like out of ball sports.
Yeah. Yep. And then I quit football that summer. I was like, I'm not going to play in 10th grade anymore. Yeah. So I didn't really know what I was doing. And at this point, I was bored. I didn't have any direction.
Right.
So
got to channel that energy somewhere.
Yeah. And like at this point in my life, I was the youngest. I'm the youngest of 3. So I'd watch my older brother get in trouble, or like my older sister always in trouble, with stuff. And I didn't want to get in trouble. I was like, I saw myself as a good kid. Like, oh, and I kind of took pride in that or whatever. I don't know why, but I was just like, yeah, I'm not getting in trouble. I'm not drinking. I'm not doing this. But then when I stopped having something, a goal or something to achieve or chase, you get bored with your friends. And then what I took pride in, not drinking. Like, I'm 15 years old. Like, what the heck? This is pretty young. And just started drinking. And it was like, 15. Like, yikes. What the heck? Yeah, getting drunk with my friends at 15. Holy smokes. And, and at this time, we had been signed up for this triathlon, so it was kind of like this transition area of like, okay, a little bit before just drinking and getting in trouble, and then also having this triathlon on the horizon. But I think it was like that summer or something. I got caught by the cops, and the cops ended up coming to my house, and because we were drinking at the what was it called, Taco Days, which is like this community event. One of my friends passed out in the porta potty.
Oh no!
And we were all just running around. And anyway, the cops found out. Yeah. Oh. And it was funny. We were sitting in this gazebo, like all my friends, and cops come up. They're like, "Hey, does anyone know Dylan? Is Dylan Gillespie here?" And I was just sitting there, and nobody ratted me out.
No, those are real friends.
Yeah, they were real friends.
No, they might have been bad influence, but
bad influence.
They had your back.
Yeah. And they're like, "No, we haven't seen him." Anyway, I run home. So now I'm running home, and my mom found out at this point, and she met me halfway on the road and picked me up. And then it was pretty soon after the cops were on our driveway, and
they found you.
You
can't run from the cops.
The cops wanted to breathalyze me, and I was just like, I'm like, I drank. You don't, like, you don't need to. And my parents were like, you don't need to do that. He's in trouble.
Right.
And I just remember seeing the disappointment on my parents' face, and that
you were the good
me.
one.
Yeah,
you were the good one, Dylan.
I was one of the good ones.
The heck?
Yeah. And that hit me hard, and I don't know. The next day, it's funny, dude. I was smoking Swisher Sweets, those little cigars. I was walking through the woods, smoking a Swisher Sweet.
15-year-old Dylan?
Yeah, 15. And I just remember thinking how much of a loser I was. At 15.
What flavor was it?
I don't know. Oh, probably cherry or something.
Yeah, loser flavor.
Yeah,
they're all loser flavors.
But I just remember, like, I'm a loser. Like, I'm literally smoking. And I was like, had a beer stash out in the woods. And I crumpled up I looked at it. I'm like, I'm not going to be this person. And I crumpled it up. I just ripped all of the Swisher Sweets. I went to my beer stash, pack? Emptied everything
One
out.
at a time?
Yeah, just emptying them all out. I'm like, I'm done.
Done.
And then I had that triathlon later that year.
Same year.
So
this is a big year for your life.
Yeah. So I started pivoting to training. And taking it serious. Because my friend Tyler, he was going to try to beat me. And he was a good athlete.
2 years older than you.
No, Tyler. Different Tyler.
Okay.
Well, Tyler's
who's
my
the boxing
brother,
guy?
Isaac.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. Not keeping up.
And so.
Oh, your buddy, right? The mom.
Tyler. Yeah,
the mom that signed you up.
Yeah.
Got it.
So I'm like, I got to train to smash this kid.
Yeah. Like
my friend.
Yeah, absolutely. Not a Nick.
So, yeah, every run I did, I'd just go run a 5K as hard as I could. Had my mom tie me. I'd look at the clock inside. Like, okay. And then I'd go run, and then I'd look at the clock when I got back. That's how, that's my upbringing. Looking at the clock.
Look at the clock inside. No
wristwatch. I know wristwatch. Yeah. It's like, how long did it take me?
That's amazing.
Pretty funny.
She's like, oh, let me get the sundial out. There, I can't tell.
Yeah.
It's 1:15.
Yeah. Crazy. And then I'd go to my friend Andrew's house.
This is real Rocky stuff.
Yeah. And I'd swim along these docks when the friends are over playing, and I'd be swimming up and down.
Doing laps.
Yeah, I'd be training. Anyway, yeah. And then race week came around, and I didn't want to race it anymore. I was like, Mom, I don't want to do this.
You were
I got
spooked?
too nervous.
Yeah.
And I was like, I just don't think I'm going to do it.
Came out of nowhere.
Yeah, because your name's attached to it.
Mm-hmm.
And I was used to, like, team sport, where your
Right.
team is, you're relying on your team.
Right.
And now you got this individual sport, and
It's
the
like-
work that you put in is a reflection of, you know,
Yeah.
of what you get out. And so my mom's like, what are you going to be, a quitter? You know, like,
Yeah.
all right, kind of thing, you know.
Yeah.
Just like, I was like, all right, let me just think about it. So a few days go by, and I'm like, all right, I'm going to do it, Mom. Whatever. So
I love you anyway.
I know. So I go to Tyler's house. I spend the night at his house before the race because I was just going to go with Tyler and his mom and his dad. And the night before, Tyler and I, we love raw vegetables with Italian dressing on them. So I remember us cutting up carrots and onions, raw carrots and onions, and putting Italian dressing on it, and just having a bowl of just like raw veggies and just eating them. Our breath probably just reeks. And having some ice cream after that too. I think we had pasta. It was a weird night.
What a buddy. Oh, yeah.
I know.
My buddy. That was not what I was expecting you to say.
No,
We just love raw vegetables.
Yeah. Oh, I still do. But yeah.
Just a bull.
And it's funny, you know, when something's new, like it's like, okay, we're gonna go to bed early.
Right. Yes.
Like 7 p.m. Like we're in
You
bed.
guys
Yeah.
are serious.
Oh, I don't know. Like I think Marianne was probably like, go to bed because she like get away from me.
Yeah.
And dude, we didn't sleep a wink that night.
I bet.
I was just so nervous.
Well, yeah, and those
I'm
vegetables
sure he
didn't
was
sit
nervous.
well.
Totally. Yeah. Funny. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So anyway, the next morning, race morning, Marianne's helping us get set up, and so it was good to have her there. It's low stress, whatever.
Right.
And I had cut off. Maybe we'll put the picture in the
somewhere in the
yeah. But a blue shirt. I cut off the sleeves.
guns out.
Yep. And I had these mesh shorts that I fastened a belt around. I put a shoelace around so I could tie them, so I could swim in them. So I had compression underwear on mesh shorts.
You swam in the mesh shorts?
Yeah.
You swim in the pool get up? Shirt too?
Not the shirt. I had the shirt for the bike.
But the mesh shorts.
Yeah. And no goggles. So I put the cap on.
Don't need them.
I don't think I had goggles,
Yeah,
but I was
make you weak.
I was Tarzan swimming when the gun went off. And it was like it's a short race. It was a sprint distance. So it was at 500 yards or something or less. And it's just, I just remember so many people around and like everyone's heads are up. And I remember passing Marianne. I'm like, hi, Marianne. Because her head was up too.
See you later.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. And and then on the bike, I was just riding no-handed because that's how I do it. You know, riding around. I was just doing a lot of no-handed, passing people.
Gosh. Was this your mom's mountain bike thing you were riding?
Yeah. Yeah, with the flat bar. And it was like pretty clapped, you know. It was good, but it was kind of clapped. And I remember this guy on this nice road bike was like, I don't know, said something disgruntled.
Well,
because I'm passing him on this thing, you know, looking like a dork. And then finished up the bike, and then on the run, I was running through people's yards because it was a hot summer day, running through sprinklers. I remember coming back on course. Just having a grand old time.
Fun.
I was.
Sounds like fun.
Yeah. Finished, and we were just all hanging out afterwards. I beat Tyler.
I mean, yeah. You would, it wouldn't have been no hands in it if it was ahead of you.
Yeah,
you would have
I
been
think I
hammering
smoked him out of the water. No.
Never saw him again.
Yeah.
Still haven't heard from him. Not
Yeah,
sure if he finished.
still have, yeah. Yes. And and then we were about to leave, but we heard over the loudspeaker the rewards were going on, and they were like, Dylan Gillespie, 3rd place. We're like, what? 3rd place? I was just dicking around the whole time. You know,
I
was super stoked.
Yeah.
And,
Well, what about, I mean, just in that, okay, I mean, thinking about this story and being in the gazebo hearing your name,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
In the cop, and you're like, not me, not me.
Yeah.
And then how many ever months later, walking around, you hear your name and you're like, oh, dang, yes, like me.
Yeah.
Me.
Interesting. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, man. And well, when I driving home, I was like, oh, I could win this next year if I took this a little more serious.
Yeah, if I wasn't running through everybody's lawn.
Yeah. Well, it was great because triathlon is a year-round thing, you know?
Right. Yeah.
Where sports, like 2 months or 3 months, and then you're done. So I that was it. I was like, I'm out. Like all these other sports. And that fall, I joined the swim team.
Yeah.
So 10th grade. It's my first year of swimming. I took to I started pretty late, but I joined swimming to race triathlon.
Late. Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, I also didn't want to swim. I was just like, Mom, I'll just go to practice. I'm not going to do the races. She's like, no. She's like, if you're going to
do this,
you're going to do this, you're going to do the whole thing. I was like, all right, well, I'm not wearing a Speedo. She's like, that's fine. So I got her jammer.
Get your jammer out.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's how it starts.
But like, you know, first triathlon.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know. Just what I had. It was like low pressure. I don't know. And that's what I feel like what it should be for everyone. Their first triathlon. You don't have to have all the gear.
Right.
Just don't do it.
Seriously.
Have fun.
Yes. Go have a good time.
Don't have that pressure. Yeah. But it's, I don't know. I was young and I was pliable and moldable still.
Yeah.
And I think what happens for people in their older age is they want to not look dorky.
They care about some of that.
And I guess kids don't want to look dorky, but I guess I didn't really care.
Yeah, you hadn't had that like self-conscious kind of thinking on that.
No.
You were just like, I'm having fun.
Yeah. Yep. So, yeah, and then I don't know. It was a good, and it's just like, it was cool because, I don't know, it gave me purpose and direction and like something to work towards.
Yeah.
And, you know, I went back the next year and I won my age group. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I got even more into it. I'm like, oh my gosh, you know?
Let's keep going.
Yeah. And I think I won it 2 years in a row.
Shoot, I think they named the race after you now.
Yeah, no, in the age group wins. But I also, my friend Andrew Turner was like a semi-pro at the time, and he was, you know,
Stud
big
athlete.
into Kona.
Yeah.
And he's the one who kind of showed me the world championships, and I got to, there was a half Ironman race that went on during the sprint, and he'd always, you know, take like a, you know, podium finish in the half Ironman.
Yeah.
And I remember how proud his dad was of him, like kind of being around it and talking about how much he trained. And Andrew is like the epitome of health to me, you know, super fit, super strong, intense, you know, but, and yeah, I wanted to be like Andrew.
Yeah.
And yeah, he definitely, I think he was a good person in my life to have during that time, because it was like, okay, here I am winning the sprint distance, but there is a lot more.
Like, what can this look like? Yeah.
Yeah. And it wasn't professional. I don't think that was a thing in my mind. I don't nobody around me. But Andrew is like, he was talking about being a professional, I guess, and kind of on that, you know, that teetering edge. But he'd go to Kona as an age grouper, and he was really competitive. And so, yeah, wow. It's just like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
And then who knew that one race would like
affect your whole
affect my whole life.
Yeah. I mean, that whole summer or whatever that period was.
Yeah.
Those few
probably
months.
a couple year period leading up into that race. But yeah, it was like, it gave me drive, purpose, vision for something.
Yeah. You believed.
Yep.
Took action.
Yep.
Dang.
Yeah, seriously.
I mean, it's real.
Yep. Belief in action. Yep. a little bit of belief and just keep showing up.
Yeah. Doing the work. Doesn't come easy.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like, 16 years later almost.
Wow.
Still doing it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Talking about it, have a podcast about it. You know, living it out.
Still
I don't know.
Grinding.
Yep.
Probably not running through as many yards now.
No. Yeah.
I don't know.
No.
Senior.
Yeah.
Get off my lawn.
Yeah. I know. Got to keep that fun aspect though to it.
That's right. That's right. You go no hands every once in a while on the bike still, so you got that still.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Cool, man.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's my first triathlon story.
That's awesome.
Yep. From ball sports to going down the wrong path to having something
productive.
My life. Yeah, productive. Yeah. So it's good times.
Great story. Great life, great living.
Yes, sir. So we got a shoey?
Yeah, well that was podluck. Great podluck.
Yeah.
Wrap it.
I know. We're stacking them in.
On to the next. Bucket poll brought to you. Well, no, we don't sponsor the bucket poll yet, but it's in a shoe today. Shall I?
Shall you? Yeah,
this
don't
is
touch
his shoe, though.
Yeah, don't touch anything but the paper.
He said he peed in them once. Maybe twice. Never trust a triathlete's shoes. Okay. What is one tip you'd give a first-time triathlete? Don't take mine. We haven't talked about
You go
this.
first.
No. All right, I'll take yours. You kind of mentioned it, actually, in your story. But I think it's important to emphasize, if you're new to the sport, don't think you have to buy all the gear and spend all the money on all the new cool stuff. Like, do everything you can to borrow Facebook Marketplace, like going to Play It Against Sports and stuff like that. Is a great way to get into triathlon. I think that's one of the biggest barriers to entry into the sport is just all the stuff that you need to have. And I think it's important to just, it kind of goes along with your story and everything. Like, get into it and try it out to see if you have fun, to see if you enjoy it. So don't be intimidated by all the stuff, because you do get used to it and figure it out. But also don't feel like you have to spend all the money on all the newest stuff. Like, if you go to your local sprint, your local Olympic, you're going to see every kind of bike, every kind of, people at all different levels. So if you're hesitating at all, like, don't let that stop you from getting into the sport. And don't be shy about showing up on your mom's mountain bike at the race. Just get whatever you can and see if you like it. Don't let that be a barrier.
Yeah, and I feel like the triathlon community is such a good community for just lending stuff out.
Seriously,
like, people get it.
Who has one of these? Who has an extra this?
Right. Everyone has an extra something.
It's true.
So, yeah, just lean into your local community if you can.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure. Let's see. First, so a tip for a new timer. I was gonna say that too, and I said it in my story. Like, you don't need it.
So you let me go first.
I know, but I'm good at going on the fly. There's lots of tips and tricks. I would suggest practicing transitions before race day. So doing a little mock setup in your yard, and just put your wetsuit on. You don't have to put it on and off a bunch of times, but like, put it on. And then have your transition area set up, with your bike on a rack or lean it against a tree, have your helmet on there, have your cycling shoes in where you'd like them, and your run shoes. Just have it all set up. And then what I used to do is I used to go to a park.
Pro tip.
You can try
Pro
this.
tip.
Well, I don't know. But those like spinny stools where you can like spin on a kid park? You can just spin around in circles.
Yes.
I used to do that to get really dizzy.
No.
Yeah,
this is not true.
Because this is true. Because when you get out of the water, you're kind of disoriented a little bit, going from swimming to standing.
Are you?
Totally.
Do you spin?
I don't know, but I was just like trying to make this.
This is
so
amazing. I love this. Let's go.
You don't have to do this.
No, everyone should be doing this.
But spin, spin, spin.
You spin.
Yeah, and then run because you're running sideways now. Because you will be disoriented. You just will be. And go through the motion. Like, put your helmet on, get your shoes on, run your bike out. Get used to running with your bike.
Yes,
so
while you're dizzy. That's
yeah.
extra.
I
mean, yes.
And then just go through the transition.
Yes.
Because that's like the most stressful part. Because there's so many elements to swim, bike, run, and it can be really scary and intimidating.
Dude.
But if you can nail your transition in a place where you're like chill, relaxed, you go to the race and you just know what to do.
Yes.
So
this is like so many aha moments are going to come out over this podcast because Dylan is excellent at transition. Like if you watch Dylan at a race, like he is in and out faster than almost ever. Like he's top 3 on the transition list, like hands down. Yeah. But now I know
all those years
it's because he used to practice transition while dizzy. Like if you can get through transition while you're dizzy, like when you're not, easy button, like whoom, focused.
Yes.
So I think that is a pro tip.
Here's another pro tip I'll give you. While we're thinking about
getting
it.
two for one.
Yeah.
Paid admission.
Wetsuits. You're taking them off too slow.
Right. You're too ginger.
Yeah. Don't be ginger.
No.
You're going to be stuck in that thing all day.
Yes.
And you're just in it for 2 weeks. So
right.
Take your shoulder off like you mean it.
Like you mean it.
Like my dad always used to say, this is a tangent. When you handle a gun, you want to don't baby the gun. Like if you're going to jack a shell, jack it hard.
Yep.
You aren't going to break the gun.
Yes.
Because then if you like gingerly do it, you're going to jam the gun.
Yeah.
Same thing with taking off a wetsuit.
Same thing.
Don't.
Love our.
Like take that shoulder off and rip your arm out. It's not going to rip.
Like you mean it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like quick, snappy movements.
Whole time.
Yeah.
Dizzy or not.
Yeah, and same with your legs. Like shimmy that thing down to your waist, and like you shimmy it down, and then just like get it down past your knees, and then step on like
the other side.
Wetsuit. Yeah, and like rip your leg out fast,
quick, with purpose.
Yeah, because if you do it slow, you're just.
I've seen it. You're like, and then you're like playing tug of war with the wetsuit, and you lose.
Yes, and especially if you like.
You got to sneak up on it.
And it's harder to take a wetsuit off when you're sweating in it. Versus when you just got out of the water and it's wet. Like the water is kind of lube. So if you were to practice taking your wetsuit off at home and you're like standing and sweating, it's actually stickier. So it's harder to get off.
Like race day water or whatever.
Wet. So there's a difference.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the the chamois cream on the
ankles
and wrists is BS.
It's marketing.
Yeah, put that where you're going to chafe.
Hey,
like in your neck.
There's a place
for your armpits.
For chamois cream.
But that chamois cream does not help your wetsuit come off. It doesn't.
Hey, if it's placebo, they just feel more comfortable, confident about it. Yeah. But if they just did it like they mean it.
Yeah, just do it like you mean it.
That's it. That's a good, all right. Anything in life, you should do it like you mean it.
Right. Yeah, I'd say.
Including taking your wetsuit off.
Yeah.
All right.
Great. Eat like you mean it.
All of it,
Drink
man.
water like you mean it.
Do it like you mean it.
Talk like you mean it.
With purpose.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's great. That's like taking off a wetsuit life advice. That's
do it like you mean it.
It's great stuff.
There you go. So, anyhow.
Well, I suppose.
Is that another closeout?
That we're ready to close it out.
Cool. Well, as you guys know, when the harmonica comes out, so does the sunglasses. And thanks for listening to another TA show.
Yeah.
We're out. See you next time.